The Big Day has been one of 2019's most anticipated hip-hop releases. I feel this is for good reason. Chance has a very unique and one-of-a-kind perspective on not only the rap game, but music in general. He's won multiple Grammys, and he's done this without a label. And it's hard not to admire the level of success that Chance has reached relatively on his own terms. I'd say like quite a lot of people, my introduction to Chance's music was in summer 2013 with Acid Rap. That album or mixtape is still a project that really resonates with me almost 6 years later now. I didn't love or enjoy Coloring Book as much as I did Acid Rap, but it still contains some of Chance's best work in my opinion, especially the songs Summer Friends and No Problem. I still regularly return to those tracks. So naturally, I was really anticipating and looking forward to what Chance could do next in his career. Now, the first thing to be aware of is that The Big Day is an absolutely massive album. I think it's just under an hour and 20 minutes. For me, this always makes me apprehensive, especially with rap albums. To justify such an insane runtime, I feel the content of the album has to be exceptional. A couple of albums that came out last year in 2018, the Carter 5 and Scorpion, I feel they suffered from their extremely long runtime. Both of these albums are ones that I really enjoy. There are tracks on both albums that are amazing in my mind, but they are just bogged down by so much filler. And I feel The Big Day falls into this category even harder. Not to say I didn't enjoy a lot of the content on The Big Day, because I definitely did. There are definitely a lot of standout tracks, a couple which I might even say are some of Chance's best work, but you have to wade through so much filler to get to those gems. Like all of Chance's projects, the opening song is one of the strongest on the album. Acid Rap opened with Good Ass Job, Coloring Book opened with All We Got, and now there's All Day Long with John Legend. The vocal harmonies on this song are beautiful. Chance's delivery is rapid, it's animated, and it makes for one of the most enjoyable listens on the whole album. The song is just pure celebration, and that's a theme, for better or worse, that runs throughout the entire album. Track 2, Do You Remember, reminds me a lot of Summer Friends from Coloring Book. It's an extremely nostalgic track, but it's got a very distinct twist to it. And that twist is that Chance is being nostalgic about the present, and he makes a lot of references to the summer of 2019. On one of the bars, he says, "I remember the summer Little Channel got a hold of his household, that same summer that widowed Gwyneth Paltrow." Of course, that's a reference to a particular character death in Avengers Endgame. That's a death I still haven't quite got over just yet. He also makes references to Will Smith's appearance in the live-action remake of Aladdin, as well as Donald Glover's appearance in the live-action remake of The Lion King. It's a very, very unique perspective on the concept of nostalgia, and I feel this is fitting because Chance is quite a unique artist in the rap game. The song Eternal with Smino is a 90s R&B inspired song about loyalty and how lame the concept of side chicks and side guys are. Quite a lot of the songs on the album do remind me of 1990s R&B, and I feel this is no more so apparent than in the song Balling Flossing. It samples Brandy's 1994 song I Wanna Be Down, which in my mind is one of my favourite R&B songs of all time. The sample is quite uniquely inserted into the song. It feels like it's being repurposed into a kind of house beat. I feel the song definitely could have done without the Shawn Mendes feature. It's quite uninteresting to me, but the beat and the sample alone is what makes this song somewhat enjoyable. Now, in terms of features, with an album that's this long, you do expect to have quite a lot, and there are. There's Nicki Minaj on 2 songs, Gucci Mane, Megan Thee Stallion, Shawn Mendes, of course. However, definitely the most unexpected feature is on the song 5 Year Plan, which features Randy Newman. That Randy Newman who composes and sings all the songs for the Toy Story films. The sheer novelty of this alone is enough to keep me interested. But surprisingly enough, the feature does work quite well, and their voices do complement each other quite a bit. For me, it's a large portion in the middle of the album where a lot of the filler lives, and that is the portion of the album I find the hardest to get through. The title track of the album is quite a cutesy celebration of Chance's recent marriage. On one of the verses, he sounds like Frank Ocean when he did his outro to Biking with this insane high-pitched vocal inflection, but on this song it really sticks out like a sore thumb considering the subject matter of the song. I feel a more traditional ballad structure would have served the song much better. Now, the song Handsome is one of a handful of tracks that I find just downright boring. Even the Megan Thee Stallion feature is quite uninspired, and I feel that's a shame because I have enjoyed quite a bit of her output. I'm not really an expert on her music. I'm not a big fan, but there's a lot of high energy performances that she puts into her music. I even got to see her live at a Young Thug concert a few weeks back, but that same energy is just not present on this song. What I can appreciate about this album, and what I wasn't expecting, is the relative wide range of topics that Chance is able to touch upon. That's an aspect I was apprehensive about going into this. I was expecting quite a schmaltzy album, to be honest. Now, in some portions of the album, it is quite schmaltzy, and sometimes it's downright cringy. But then on other times it's quite profound, and I feel myself resonating with Chance on a personal level. And I feel this is the danger of having a rap album which is so bloated and so long. On the song I Got You, he expresses his dislike for those who voice their opinions but then get offended when other people voice opinions which don't match their opinions, and that's a sentiment I completely agree with. But then on other songs I find myself deeply cringing, especially in the song Get a Bag, where he says, I pull up in that Elon, all these niggas feline, I've stopped smoking cigarettes, now pussy tastes like key lime. I think we all know that Chance is a much better lyricist than this. I think this is just lazy on his part. Towards the end of the album we get the song Sun Come Down, and this is undeniably, it's not even close, my favourite song on the entire album. It's backed by quite a haunting instrumental, and on this song Chance contemplates his post-death legacy and also addresses how commodified artists become after they have died. This is easily the most raw and honest moment on the entire record. Now, if you haven't heard there's an old Joe Budden song called If I Die Tomorrow, and if you enjoy Sun Come Down, I think you should definitely check that song out as well. Despite the somber nature of Sun Comes Down, it still manages to end on a positive and uplifting note, and I feel that is the parts of the album where Chance genuinely shines. Now, what I'm about to say may sound strange to start with, but I feel it's a relatively accurate comparison. I found myself comparing Chance's music to Future's music, not necessarily in aesthetic, but the way they're received. I feel the parallel that you can draw between the two artists is that they are known for their high-octane, high-energy songs, but when I personally speak to dedicated fans of Chance the Rapper or Future, what I find is that the songs that resonate with them the most are the more low-key, subdued and subtle ones. For example, a lot of people know Future for songs like Fuck Up Some Commas or I Serve the Bass, or even Tony Montana. But when I speak to dedicated followers of Future's music, a lot of the songs that they identify the most with are songs like Sorry or My Collection, or even older songs like Honest. Of course, not that this is the case for all Future fans, but this is just a pattern I have started to notice. And I feel I'm starting to see the exact same pattern with Chance the Rapper. He's known for his high energy animated songs like All We Got, No Problem, Juice as well. But when I speak to dedicated Chance fans, and it just happens to be that my favourite Chance songs are the more low-key, subdued ones as well, I feel myself seeing the same patterns with Future's music. Songs like Paranoia and Summer Friends and Acid Rain are ones that keep being in the conversation of Chance's best ever songs. The reason why I make this comparison is because I feel Future has recognized that is his strongest point. Like, just go and listen to Save Me. That whole album is very somber and low key, and a lot of people like that album. And I feel that kind of vibe and music is where Chance shines the most. But we're getting it in very rare occasions. Once I saw the runtime, I was expecting a relatively mixed bag, which is what I got. But what I wasn't expecting was the relative wide array of topics that Chance was trying to touch upon. I do feel that there is a really good and really decent 10 or 11 track album hidden in The Big Day, but that album is just being bogged down by far too many filler tracks and forgettable ones. I do really hope that Chance's next project is much more streamlined and refined, because I feel his talent is worth so much more than what we're getting on projects like The Big Day. Ultimately, I am impressed in small pockets of the album, but ultimately I am disappointed by it as a whole cohesive project. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below what artist or album you think I should talk about next. Make sure to like, subscribe and dong the bell, and I will see you next time.